Hello everybody, my name's Spicy and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the Altar of Souls and where you should be spending your soul essences. Now, depending on your account, it might be a little bit different, but generally everybody should be following the same rule of thumb on the wish list and the where to spend these soul essences. Now, before we get too far into it, I will ask that you guys check out my Twitch. I do weekend streams basically every weekend now on my Twitch. It lasts a few hours and we just check out some other people's accounts. We get some LiveArena done on different accounts, and it's overall just a fun thing to do. It would be awesome to see some more people tune in, but let's go ahead and actually get into it. So on any account, you're obviously going to have your roster, and you're going to either be a little bit more support heavy or a little bit more damage heavy. That's just really how every account turns out. On my account, I'd say I'm probably more support heavy. Now I do have like the +4s and the epics, but really you're only +4ing epics that matter, and most of the ones that matter are just DPS. But if you look on my account, we can see there's 2 Duchess, there's just a bunch of supports. So on my account, I'm not actually going to be going after supports. I actually just have a bunch of them, and on any account really, you want to be looking at your damage and your best damage. So for me, it's really outlined because I don't have that many, but for those who have a whole bunch of DPS, you really need to look into who's really going to be the best. Mishinaki, Razelvarg, and Ninja are 3, just to name a few, that are absolutely god tier ones that you need to focus on getting their souls and buying them up. So with Razelvarg, I've actually bought his soul from level 1 up to level 5, and now I'm working on getting him to level 6. As soon as we get his level 6, I'm going to change him from Nature's Wrath over to, where is it? Crushing Rend. So Crushing Rend is pretty much the best soul for a Hydra DPS in the entire game, and really what you're going to be wanting to do is upping your DPS that are most useful in your dungeons as well as your Hydra, and then Arena will just come along with it most likely. Razelvarg is one of those champions that you can use in Fire Knight hard for the fastest runs in the entire game. You can run him in Hydra for some of the highest damage in the entire game. And then you can also run him in Arena if you want, because he just hits that hard and can do very, very well. Now on the 6-star soul, Nature's Wrath and Crushing Rend are the best ones. Crushing Rend will allow you to speed farm Fire Knight. Now if you have it level 6, that's where you want to be running it at 6-star. But if you're running anything below 6, you want to pick up Nature's Wrath, and that's pretty much how you want to do it on all Hydra DPS and really any PvE nukers in the game. As long as they're placing at least 1 debuff, I would say go Nature's Wrath. If you're looking at a little bit of a hybrid, I guess you can really go with whatever. Like if you're going hybrid for just Arena and then you also use them in Hydra, you could focus the Arena side of things, but I feel like unless you're running Polymorph, you're generally, well, Polymorph or Word of the Fallen, you're generally just gaining more from going with the PvE side. So with that being said, let's look at who you should actually be buying your souls for. 1, you need to lay out your wish list. So for me, my wish list are the 3 champions that I want done the absolute most. And since I'm already buying Razelvarg's, I'm not going to put his on here. These are the champions that I don't absolutely need their 6-star soul right now, but as soon as Razelvarg gets done, I'm going to take one of them out and start buying them up. You want to be focusing DPS and your souls. Basically, that's all you're going to be doing. You don't need the 6-star soul on Duchess like I bought. I'm finding that it wasn't really worth it. You don't need it. You don't need the 6-star soul on your UDK, your Mithrala, your Uko. I mean, really, you don't need the super high up soul for any of your supports. It's just not that important. It is very nice to get that 15 speed or whatever it may be for the champion you're doing it on, but it really is just better to go with your DPS, because if we go ahead and look over at my Hydra, you'll see this was a tank week. I shouldn't have hit as hard as I did, but I did. If we go to our actual clash here, I did this and Brutal 860 million. This is without the 6-star souls. Now, if I had my Razzle at 6-star, he would have probably put out 1 to 200 more million damage, just purely by having that 6-star Crushing Rend. It is so incredibly strong. Now, if I were to have Mishinaki with that 6, if I would have Varro with that 6, it would really, really add up to putting this well over 1 billion damage. Probably, honestly, somewhere around 1.5 billion or higher. It just has such a large effect. We can see he didn't really do the best run, but you can see that the 6-star Crushing Rend really does a lot on both of these champions, Ninja and Razzleberg. Now his Ninja isn't in Savage, but I'm sure if he was, he would be at least somewhat near Razzle. I do think Razzle is probably the best legendary DPS outside of maybe Harima. I don't know. Razzleberg's absolutely insane. Well, actually, no, there's Taras. I did forget about Taras. So I'd say Taras, Mishinaki, and Razzleberg, as well as Harima, Varro. Teox is insane. If you do have Teox, I'd invest in him. Marius is also insane. There's a lot of great DPS, but what I personally like Razzleberg for the most is the fact that 1, he will carry your Hydra, and then 2, he will also make it to where you can speed farm Fire Knight hard. I can do a quick little run here. It's pretty consistent. I think the fastest we had was like under a minute. I think 50 seconds was the best. As long as I'm not doing it on the wrong stage here. I don't think I am. Yeah, no. Riho would be in the wrong stage. Yeah, if I had that 6-star Crushing Rend, he'd just one-shot that wave and no problem. And then we get to here, and we just demolish this. Now, granted, this is only stage 6 because I don't have the super high souls. If I did, then I would just run this team, or a little bit different of a team on stage 6. But this is very fast, 100% consistent. It has never failed. Very, very solid team. Really happy with how it is. And I just threw it together for one of the Fire Knight tournaments. But yeah, 50 seconds. I mean, fantastic. Absolutely love it. And Razzle is 2nd highest damage. Foley's great, but I wouldn't buy his 6-star soul before the other 2 here. But yeah, so guys, that's just the general rundown of who you should be buying. Now, if you aren't sure exactly how you get these, you just get them by running Iron Twins and picking up the Immortal Soul Stones. Then you open them and you can sell these for your Eternal Soul coins, which then you can turn into Essence. Now, obviously, not all of them are going to be Eternal. There's just going to be some Immortal Soul coins and stuff, but if you sell these, if you get 1,000 of them, you can buy one of these, which I really wouldn't do. I would just buy the essences because that's how you actually choose your champions. Unless you're spending a lot of money, there's a very low chance that you actually get a 6-star soul of who you want in your wish list. So just focus your DPS, focus getting these soul coins, buy up your essences, and call it there. So I appreciate y'all for watching. If you did learn anything from this video, I'd really appreciate it if you consider hitting that like button, subscribing. If there's anything else you guys would like to learn about in Raid, feel free to let me know down in the comments. I'm more than happy to make a few more videos about any topics really about Raid and anything that'll help you guys and your time going through the game. So yeah, thanks again. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, guys.